Kush Kush!
I have many names. There's something about university, it's a bit odd, isn't it? As soon as you get to university, they tell you your name is not under your control anymore. Your name is now decided by the people who you're friends with, and so you either called your surname or a name or a nickname or whatever. Luckily, I had a hat, so that made my name really easy. First year, I was Dave with hat. So that's nice and simple. This is our fun with DeadSuds, as Chrissy just said, so we're going to try and make it all cheerful and stuff, and also we're very sad for saying bye to cats for all this semester. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. You guys excited?
Yeah!
You sound reasonably alright. So we're going to get things started. We're going to get started with the impromptus. So
so whenever they freeze, I want you to shout out a film or a theater style. And then they will continue performing that same scene in that style. Okay, to begin with, can we have a relationship between these two?
Siblings.
What was that?
Siblings.
Siblings.
Ex-friends.
I like siblings, let's go with that. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
So, I was talking to Mom earlier today, and sorry, but the time has come. You have to move out. She told me that I have to tell you about this.
What? I'm 12.
I know. We had a discussion.
PD drama!
We had a discussion, Edward.
Yes?
I'm sorry, I've let your house come from my mother. She had a tete-a-tete with Mr. Billington.
But sister, I've just come back from the war.
I know. You must leave again. Mr. Billington is going to take you in his own.
Spaghetti Western. Nobody takes me in as their own except me.
You walk around here acting all tough and all big man in town.
Civil War, come on!
Silent movie.
War!
Musical. I heard silent movie.
Civil War drama!
Musical.
Noir.
Noir. Noir.
I embraced her. But only because I knew that she knew that I knew that she knew that I knew that she was mine.
You should know me. You know I'm a no good, two-bit kind of girl around this house.
I knew that.
Mother Waltz is in here. She tells me do this, do that. You know what I do? None of it.
Porno.
Star Wars.
Musical. Let's do musical.
None of it at all.
None of it. Not yet.
I'm walking down, she's not cleaning. She hasn't done the cleaning. My mom says, hey, Jimmy, Jimmy. She hasn't done the cleaning.
has had a very popular party. He's invited a whole 3 people to his party. But they're a bit odd. You guys can decide what's wrong with them. So, what is a bit wrong with Helen?
Civil War soldier.
Civil War. Something's wrong with that.
The floor is lava.
The floor is lava.
She's swimming across the channel. She's a spoon.
She's like, at this moment, she's prepared.
She currently is.
She's swimming across the channel. You're swimming in a big old expanse of water. You can do that. Helen's gonna swim. What's up with Craig?
Allergic to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, know that. Craig, you're allergic to Wi-Fi. And Tessa, what's up with Tessa?
She's growing ears on her like the genetically modified.
She's a centaur!
Centaur.
She's a centaur!
Tessa is a centaur. No ears, just a centaur. So,
I am swimming in the canal.
channel. Guys,
I'm allergic to Wi-Fi.
and Tessa.
I'm a centaur.
Cool.
Yay!
Right. Daniel, come in. You guessed it. I bumped them up.
I can't wait for my party like the appreciating of the letter S. There's no party like an Escalade party. Game references, that's so exciting. Oh, people, hello. Do you like the letter S? Oh, God, you have it in here, don't you? Yeah, that's all the time. Isn't it?
Yeah.
How many bars? How many bars are we talking?
About 18.
Oh, I
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My cat's coming up.
There you go. You know when you wear that, you kind of look like a fish in your foot.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah. Spell that or something. Hello.
Is what I'm wearing okay? It's really hard to find, trousers. For
Looks good too. Yeah.
Thanks.
Works well. Good look for it.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
I'm sorry, I got this all the time. Can you turn it off or something?
I will try.
Okay, sorry. Thanks, it's something else. So, what's my name?
Best one.
That's controversial.
Yeah. However, the leading brand, they're not very good because everyone's better than the leading brand. So.
Well, that's fine, we can turn it off. So,
Okay.
don't do anything.
Okay.
I'll be good.
Are you allergic to radiators?
Ha! Radiators, I can find that in fine.
Fire radiators?
Look at this. Radiator.
Horse food. It's not very good.
Are you Bojack Horseman?
Of course not.
Dang, I'm sorry.
Protein bar.
I got that starstruck.
Please give me protein bar. Oh, it's been
Here,
such a long
here's the
time.
protein bar. Yes, that's her. You Olympic swimmer?
Oh, I wish. Oh, my distances are so short. Oh.
Or you swim the channel. When you see Gopher, just shout. Yeah. Back to you. Are you feeling okay?
I feel fine.
Yeah.
Everyone has it. Bloody McDonald's has it. Seriously. This has to do with What?
Right, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand now. Do you want to know the password so you can turn it off yourself?
Oh, fine, why not?
It's
That's disgusting.
It stands for Control Under Networking Telecoms. So
So, how are sugar cubes?
I don't want those.
Carrots.
No, come on, don't be ridiculous.
What do you enjoy eating?
I like fast food, some burgers, spaghetti.
Just the regular food stuff.
Yeah.
Because you are a regular human. But, listen,
Excuse me, there's nothing regular about me.
and your prized racehorse who thinks she's a human?
Don't be ridiculous. I look like an ass.
A little bit. Why are you making me to my parties that I think look funny? I'm sorry. How can we help you?
You could read me a story.
Oh, a library of stories.
Do you have any mythology? Interesting creatures?
This one's about centurions. Do you like them? Because they're named after you.
Yeah, they're cool.
Big Anthony Bronte!
You were my favorite!
Well, that was great, especially that one in the hat. He's a talented man. We're going to follow that up. Follow that up. Listen, it's your own time you're wasting.
Sorry, Mr. Mello. Don't be such a definitely.
Right. We're going to follow that with a lovely song provided by Mark.
Before I sing my song, I kind of like to explain why I'm doing this song in particular. About 8 years ago, in January, my nan, who was like that was my name for my grandmother, passed away from cancer. And November was really the last time I had some meaningful memories with him. And hence I decided to perform in November. The song I'm going to be singing is Welcome to My World by Jim Reeves. And it was her favourite song, and it was the one that was played at her funeral. Hence, that's my tribute to her. I've only been singing for 3 years, and each year, in November, I've sung this song. The first time I ever sang live was this song 2 years ago. And again, it was only in front of like 10 of my closest friends, so it wasn't exactly like I was, should have been too nervous. But nonetheless, each time I decided to push myself further. So last year I did it, I felt like I knew a bunch of strangers, and now I'm actually performing it outside the karaoke studio, so this is bloody terrifying. So I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone for her, as my tribute to her. I would like to ask, please forgive any and all mistakes, /years, /left notes, because there will be possibly all three of those. I'm both nervous and emotional when singing this song, and I hope you enjoy it anyway. This is my time to welcome to my world. Johnny's here. Tell us a story, Bill.
We're experiencing some Spoken word again from someone who's not performed at DeadSuds again, so I want to hear a massive DeadSuds round of applause. Welcome to Alison. She's going to do some free verse.
I'm taking a still because that's kind of pretentious shit this is.
Still.
Oh man, this is great. I can't see a fucking thing. Alright, so the last DeadSuds is when I finally decided what I wanted to do because I knew I wanted to do something. So I decided that this would be a good opportunity, speak slower, to explore my many and different neuroses, which is just like weird behaviors. So my first piece, also free verse because I'm too lazy to write poetry with a structure. My first one, Tricky Tillamine. I think I was 11, it was Christmas time, and we're in a restaurant, and my family are freaking out because I'm pulling out my eyelashes. They just don't get it because I can feel this one, it's poking me in the eye. Something like made it grow down, and I keep trying, but I can't get the right one. And then when I was 16 and 5th year and in class, and it's a month before exams, and I'm not realizing, but the chick next to me asked how I can do that. And I'm not scratching my neck like I thought I was. I'm pulling hairs out the back of my head around the bottom on the right-hand side. And I'm just impressed that I can. And it's because there's like this itch, and the patch of skin that I'm tearing comes from is numb. And the pulling helps with the itching somehow. Then, a year later, that time again, 6th year, during the exam this time, thinking with my hands, and they like drift to my eyebrows, and the thought is, oh, some of these are like really thick and wiry, I should get rid of them. But like I kept missing, so I just wound up with half an eyebrow, like I'm sporting now. Now, I'm not saying that my version of this condition is anything like what other people having to explain your mutilated eyebrow to the 25-year-old chef you're madly in love with. And damn it, you see pig, which is totally contradicting the weird pubescent allure that you've been working so hard on. So you decide then that you make a concentrated effort not to pound so much, which sure is easy done when you finish high school and then start college, which is like way less stress. But you can't predict the way you'll react when the heat turns up occasionally and you're plucking because of the panic caused because you need to hide your lack of lashes and the fact that your brows are half drawn on. And I'll speak here Latin for just some decency. Small scars punctuate the mons veneris and axilla, the areas of androgenic growth, so celebrated when decollated and decollated that doing so causes the hairs to rebel and grow inward. And as such, I find myself by necessity digging out the skin using tweezers just to try and get the terminal hairs because I know they're there. I've only got 2 pairs. This one makes me seem like much less of a freak. Cynophobia. So the technical definition of a phobia is an irrational fear. Or something like that. And I know it's like more inclusive than just an irrational fear, but just go with it. But you know what's not irrational? Fearing something that's bigger than you and lacks human sentience and is loud and has pointy teeth. Alison, you may think, or more likely, green-haired girl, you are bigger than most dogs. To which I say, I'll have known that I'm a very small person and always have been. So, you know, me at age 5 would be like half me now, if that. And there's a lot of dogs bigger than that. So there you go, childhood regression or something. But besides that, just dogs in general, they're like jumpy and slaggery, and despite the size difference, it could probably still kill me. So, you know, I'm not taking shit for disliking dogs anymore, because, as we all know, the minute you mention it to somebody, they act like you just admitted to not breathing air.
Still
strong.
You don't even go here.
Right. Amazing. Fantastic. Another person performing at DeadSuds for the first time. Far too late in this semester. Definitely should have been on before now, but well done. We're going to move on to another first time performance. Loads of first time performance with new things going on tonight.
Yay!
We've got Helen doing some amazing poetry. If people do want to sign up and do some things, do just pop along. We've got a pen and a book. And we'd love to see you up on the stage doing your own thing. But right now, it's time for Helen.
Okay, I'm really nervous to be nice. Okay, just a couple of poems that I have written during the time that I've been in Scotland, so last 2 months. Okay, so I run and I hide, and I push it all inside because I'm not made for feeling this much. I fear it all, yet I smile each day. When all that's really inside of me is a mess and a longing for more. I don't want to be like you, but I just can't let it all go. It is a part of me, yet all you see is what I'll let you know. The rest is dark and put away in the closet of my dreams. Those dreams that start to fade, get lost in all the haze. Is there a place in here where I can soar, where my spirit finally will fly? So the second one is not that sad. I'm running and chasing and running and twirling. I'm lost in the haze of all the colors that are swirling. Please, slow me down. I'm laughing and crying and laughing and flying. I'm falling and falling, awaiting for catching. Please, just slow me down. I'm losing myself in chasing the dreams. I'm finding and loving the way that it feels, but slow me down. I'm enjoying and rejoicing and screaming and crying. But most of it all, I'm doing the living, but slow me down.
Fantastic. Really lovely. Now, we've got another new performer? No, wait. We've got someone who's seen already tonight, someone you've probably seen a lot of, and who sadly is the last time you see them of this year. So, doing something new. It's Cats!
Under my shoe and it's really annoying me. But guess what? Okay, start this year. I was like, hey, I'm gonna have New Year's resolution. I'm gonna do stand up at least once. And then the other day I was like, oh snap! It's like one last DeadSuds before the end of this year, and I'm like, where else am I gonna go do stand up? So guess what, you guys? I've got my Janine Garofalo shirt on. Let's do this. Cool. So I'm gonna rattle on into this little journey that we are about to depart on together. First things first, what was my joke? I remember it. That'd be so funny if that was just it, and I'm like, we'll see ya. And I'm like, it was funny in my head, and I'm like, ha! Got the point. Yeah, so, you guys, university, what? Isn't this ridiculous? And, that's the thing, I've had this in my head, and now when I'm like playing it back in my university is how to nap. I didn't know how to nap before I came to university. I'd be like, I'm Catherine, I'm awake all day, yay, I'm at the party. Not at university when people actually like actual parties, and I just get really scared. And I'm like, oh no, other people, because my parties are usually like, woo, I'm not a bit of the fork for me to book. You know, that's the best. But yeah, no, this was the thing, was that like, I swear it was like in first year, and like the first time that it was middle of the day, and I was like, you know what? I can go to sleep right now. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm good for it. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up like 2 hours later, and I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, oh my goodness, this is not real. It was so bad, and I was like, I thought it felt like I discovered napping. I know I haven't, but it felt like I had. And I was like phoning out people, I was like, Mom, the most wonderful thing has happened. Like I had just like got a husband, and they're like, oh, I fell asleep in the middle of the day. And I woke up, and it wasn't the next day either. She's like, okay. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'll talk to you in a month. But this is the thing, is that napping, and then I'm like, huh? And I'm like, oh, Catherine, or I'm not, okay, I've got a connection in my head. So, after I got the phone with my mother, then I was thinking about my mother. Let's talk about my mother. So basically, I don't know, like I always felt like, okay, basically this also ties in with the whole accent, where are you from type thing. I'm Northern Irish, I just don't want to be it. I've spent a long time trying to not be Northern Irish. I'm already half American, so I had like a good head start that way. But like, I swear, when I was born, I was like a little like farmer baby, and I was like, I spent like from then on trying my hardest to get like this weird accent, because like one day I was like, you know what? I like to confuse people and also have attention. So that's why I did my accent. So I changed it basically because I was like, I don't like saying no, I like saying now. Like, you don't understand. And then people are like, oh, where are you from in America? I'm like, I'm actually from America, and I'm the worst person ever. Have you ever met someone who's like, oh, I'm not actually, they're like completely Scottish. Like, I'm not actually Scottish, but like, my dad was born in Glasgow, but grew up in America, but I'm totally Scottish. That's me, and it's awful. It's the worst, and it's awful, and I don't care. Yes, my mother, that's the thing, is that my mother, I'm really red with lipstick on my teeth right now, and I don't care. So, you look great. Thank you so much. And this is the thing, is that like I always knew. Well, that's the thing. I was like, is someone talking? Excuse me. Like, right here, right now. But yeah, okay. So like I never thought I would like be my mother, but I swear, like she just. Oh no, I love her so much. I swear, I got my hair up, and I'm like, no, Catherine, let me go Elizabeth, and I'm like, what? And then she'll see me, she's like, oh, Catherine, she's really Northern Irish. And like, this is the thing, like, this is the thing, okay. There's a few people here with like their Northern Irish mommies, they get it. So like, I think it's just like a typical like mother thing, so like whenever you go home and then they're like, here, I made you all a cake. And I'm like, oh, I'm not really hungry. They're like, eat it. And I'm like, okay. And then I don't know if it's a trick or, well actually, yeah, like my sister came over the other day and just made like 1.5 cakes. And I saw them, I haven't eaten them yet because I'm like, okay, well, this is the only cake I'll get in a while. But like, there's one thing that I feel again, like, this is something like Northern Irish people can kind of be like, yes, it's the fact that they're like, have you ever noticed, that's basically what I'm doing right now. This is the thing, a Northern Irish woman will never, ever admit to buying something full price. That's it. They will never admit. Like, you'd be like, oh, like the liquor shirt, it was $3, it was on sale. I swear. I kept it on, look at the top. like you can't ask like a Northern Irish woman like you definitely can't tell her like anything about liking their clothes because they will tell you the price. Even if you don't care, you're gonna find out that if it's $2.99 at the Blue Cross deal, definitely get in there. This is the thing. But like I never thought that I was like, oh, I've got my weird accent. I don't think like that. No, I am that. I am that. I swear. If you ask me like anything, I'd be like, these shoes, H&M. I got them when it was raining. It was great. They weren't great after that. I don't know because it's so shocked at everything. This is another thing. My dad, he's from Texas, and he told me he sat me down like a couple years ago. And he was like, Catherine, I've lived in this country for 30 years, and I understand like the culture and all different things, and I get it. And you know, I'm a British citizen and all this now. And he's like, I get it and all. He's like, there's one thing I don't get. I was like, what? I was like, what is it, Daddy? That's what I talked about. Why is everyone so shocked that the days get longer in the summer? But that's the thing. It's a surprise. Because I swear, you'll walk around and it'll start. It gets into like mid-March. Everyone's like, it's not the sun. It's 5:30. Here. Did you see the sun? So I look at the time. It's 7:30. You think the days are getting longer? My dad was telling me this. He was like, it happens every year. Why is this a surprise? I'm like, I never thought that. But also, I think the biggest explanation is that we live in winter so long that it makes it just encapsulate our entire lives. When the sun comes out, it's just the most terrifying, brilliant, beautiful thing we've ever seen in our entire lives. We're just like, oh my goodness. Look at that. That's wonderful. Look, it's 7:30. You say it's only mid-dusk. That's nothing but a wait. Oh yeah. My family's issue with urgency. Basically, this is just me. Like, this is speaking a lot of stuff off my chest.
On stage at DeadSuds or on stage ever. And I'm going to do a few rap songs that I've written, and I'm really fucked right now. So bear with me. First song I'm going to do, I wrote like 3/4 of it when I was like 15, and it was on a hard drive I found it this summer, and I just had to finish it. So it's really shit. It's really so I'm going to do it because I love it. And then the next one is about getting stoned and playing video games. But, you know, we all do that. So, yeah, I might stop it just in case it doesn't sound, because I don't have a mic and I was in the mirror earlier trying to sing with a cold bottle. So, if I stop it, just people on the decks, you don't have decks, but, you know, if you're a rapper, you say, just on the thing. I'm just gonna hold my beer, but this first one is about going on a road trip with my friends, and the next one's about video games. So let's take it off. Turn up a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, that's it. Okay. Shut the fuck up! Hop in the car, it's time to go. On in the street into where we're going, so don't ask me. Adjust your tempo, or you can ride along, sitting back in that taxi. Pass me, so go over sound. Okay. Thanks. Alright, can you start again, please? I just couldn't hear it. Smash bottles, kaleidoscope of death, desire the effects. My wiring is left, bare bones, cologne like telephone poles. Gold-plated status and mega status, I'll be waiting. Pixelated stage on the platform, X and Y axis, all these planes that I'm caged on. Game on, I'm here to save the princess. Bit stressed cause I'm too deep, squashing insects. Big less to press on, as long as my batteries possessing volumes of savagery. Juice up, super suit starts to flash, I'm flashing with the finish. I got enough, I'm counting down the minutes. Ripping at the sword controller, every match I get controller. Fucking shit! I fucked up.
Keep going. Go for it.
Lay my head to the I see instead all these levels that I've left. Eyelids quiver, shivering with static. These dreams that I'm having are delayed on that graphics. Planted in my sleep, my habits pretty deep. My hands are in the clutch, my feet are in the sweep. Can't keep running, this ain't fun no more. Fingers in a claw, I'm drawing blood cause I'm a poor kid. I'm plucking it's cause they give me a boost. When I'm confused, is this reality? I can't even move. Guess that's the testament. Chill man and let me take the rest of it. I'm calling. Wake up in the morning, play the rest of it. Okay, that's done. That's it.
because that was pretty successful. Round of applause for the rest of the week, because I'm not here. On to the next one is an old DeadSuds staple. It's back. He's saying words again. It's the return of Cheeto. As you can tell, he's ecstatic about being on stage. Come on, man. What am I doing? I don't know. You tell them. Poetry, I believe. It's normally poetry.
Okay, so one day I think I was doing an essay and I started writing words on paper and this came out. If I can find it. Wait. Got it. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah. So basically I was writing a poem and then my friend named it Dreamers Odyssey because that's what it was.
Let's take the world and turn it over to the other side. And let's do what the people used to do. Hey, let's take the world and turn it over to the other side. And let's do what the people used to do. So, let's break conventions and our dreams overwhelm our being again. Open the cabinets we're locked away in the back of our minds and dream again. See, let's bow to never allow social constraints and ideologies to dictate who we're going to be. For me, being me right now is good enough. Why sit around wondering about a future that isn't guaranteed? Honestly, this economy is probably best if I focus on now. Just look around and browse who I want to be, who I need to be, because the dreams as a child is still in me. So let's dissect our calendars and exhume what the happiness we found in the burrows of our souls, in the woods where we ran and laughed as children, squatting in the dark corners we were once so scared of, playing hide and seek, just waiting to be found. In those tree houses you once played in, and the broken bones, lost teeth and scars you acquired, let's cherish the remembrance of our dreams, seen and unseen, and those still waiting to be dreamt. So let's live. Eradicate all the feelings of hurt, pain, and sorrow that harbor in your heart so stubbornly. Give it back his voice and let it sing again. Let it play music and hit those drums so you can feel it beat again. Hear the trumpets blow from your surroundings just because you were here one more day. You got 24 more hours of productivity, of kisses, of I love yous, of I really like you and like to date yous. I've been dancing on the tips of your tongue, trying to moonwalk out, but you're scared if they stumble or hurt. But there isn't a right moment to say I love you, to say I miss you, to say I'm sorry. There isn't a right time to focus someone. 1,440 more minutes to look the person you're with in the eye and make you don't love them anymore, and that the one you've always dreamt of has lived next door all of life, and I'd be foolish if I didn't tell how I feel. That I don't think we would have worked out before you carried on. My heart's always felt like it belonged to another. It feels locked up and has a life sentence behind a ribcage, and holding on to you is making time seem longer. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. 86,400 more seconds to relive the moments I meant the most to you. The days at the beach, the dinner dates, the breakups, the makeups, the photo booths and goofy smiles, moments spent in the sun eating ice creams, and the day you realize how much a family meant to you and still does. One more day of celebration and joy. So let's smile. Let's dance. Let's jump, let's prance, let's live, let's forgive, let's go on dates to the countryside and have a picnic. We can watch the clouds as they drift apart without saying a word, but still speaking soulfully, soft and still playing that moment when they first told you the name and you didn't hear what they said. So you called them from an unknown number just to see if they remember your voice the way you remember theirs. Feeling as if Aretha Franklin's At Last was still playing when they walked through the door. You see, feel the taste of your words as they see through your mouth into the ears of those that you love, and see if they still taste as sweet as before. So let's take the world and turn it over to the other side, and let's do what the people used to do. Hey, let's take the world and turn it over to the other side, and let's do what the people used to do. So, have the power to do your wrong and more wrong. You see, the life is not a loop player. Tell your heart to find a new song. Tell it there's a beatboxer around the road whose soul dances well with yours. You see, laugh more. Find solace in the dark. See the beauty in your fears, the beauty in your imperfections, in your smile, your laugh, the things you no longer find beautiful about you. Love the fact that at least one person sees you differently. So tell me, if you were told that tomorrow was your last day, and you were told when you have the last words, what would your last sentence be?
Let's see if I can remember this one. I'm going to do it a little bit of a love poem, I think. She told me she wanted me to listen. So I said, to what? She said, listen to the heartbeat before the memories of my failed relationships and then look me like the cure for cancer. She said, answer my questions with pure silence and sometimes just listen. See, you don't wear a halo and I don't need a saving grace. Just embrace my pain and not to feel it. She said, you don't need to illuminate my problems and make my wrongs right. Even the summer sun, the earth sit in darkness at night, I can shine on my own. I just need you to be there. Be there like air. Ever present when I don't know, be the solid foundation of my life, support me. She said, be my pulse. Invisible to those around, but still real. Real because I can feel you. She said, I just want to know I can count on you. I do like marking the equation of my life, be my potion. The sum of my parts beat with my heart, be in sync with me. Co-write the story of my life as if you were inked with me. Tattoo yourself to my hope so I can carry you into my dreams, and then sleep with me so we can share the same dreams and see my souls together. She said, rehearse me like poetry. Speak me into existence. Make me your adjective and describe us. Trust me enough to know it enough to show it, relieve me of the wonder and understand it. She told me she wanted me to listen, so I did. Thank you.
Ramblings about a newbie's entrance into Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah!
Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh! Yeah!
Well, I'm going to talk about two of my characters who may or may not have perished dreadfully. Initially there was Kieran Cade. His story, a wildling from beyond the wall, coming south because Mance Rayder's army was gathering speed and he didn't want to be a part of a shit war that would lead him to death. So he came south to a place where everyone fucking dies. He found himself a nice wee place in the forest down the Riverlands, thought, I'll live here, I'll be in harmony. Then he ran into the mob of characters that is, who you have to live with, let's say a few, Elijah, Thwaite, Moscato the Monolith, Gilmer Creven, who else is that? Borealis, Fipple Hill, yeah. Fipple Hill.
Fuck,
And there was also Azor, the wolf man who's creepy. He bumped into this berry band, they led him to some sort of shack place. It was an abandoned inn. And in there, they discovered a man called Terry Grog who sold whimsical sauce or whimsical grog, whatever you want to call it.
A good name.
It was a good name. So this grog, there was numerous bottles of it. Each bottle had a different magical property. No bottle was the same. Anything you did, that it did something to you different to the last. Many characters in the troupe drank a bottle. One of them turned into stone for about 6 hours. One of them burst into flames. One of them exploded across the room, injuring many members of the party. Kieran Cade, my character, decided it'd be good crack to feed this to Moscato's horse. A giant war horse fed this magical grog with different effects. The effect it had was that like an aneurysm. The horse bled everywhere, collapsed and was dead. Moscato the Monolith, being very angry at the death of his war horse, decided to send his wolf Nymeria on me. Nymeria, attack! Roll for it. Roll the 1. Nymeria flies through the windows of the inn into the coming storm and is just fucked. After things happened throughout then. There was a murder mystery, shit went down, people died, people disappeared, people exploded, and generally died. Once the mystery was solved, Kate and everyone else in merriment thought, let's drink a grog and see what happens. One of them drank a grog, and a demon appeared from a portal, handing forth a demonic dagger, and then staggered back at his portal and fucked off. Other people drank it, and it had no effect. Kate drank one. He disappeared, appeared in the upstairs room, wandered down the stairs happy. Everyone's like this. What did you do, man? He's just picks up another grog, drinks it. His mind explodes. And that was the end of Kate. Next came Tiresias Moores, a priest from the wall.
Do you like the wall, Johnny?
Not beyond the wall. He was in the wall.
We're getting over.
What? Fuck you, Robbie. You're not a dungeon master here. You have no power. So, Tiresias Moores, I can't remember how the fuck he ended up with the party, but he managed to. They went on a merry band. He fell in love with the hag, also known as Granny Rags, Mary Ellen, different personalities, that is Callum Swan.
Yay!
On this venture, he became enchanted with the hag. There was a whole lot of sexual play where he kept trying to shag her, and she was like, no, back later, not tonight. Well, did he suspect he would never get the chance to make love to this sweet, sweet blood mage hag? He ended up in salt pans, a wee city near the coast. Tried to barter passage onto a pirate ship to go somewhere, only to discover that Theron Grog had rolled a 1. Tiresias had rolled a 1, and ended up selling all the grog to the captain in passage for himself, not the 6 or 7 other members of the party. In recompense for this, he and the rest of them had to assassinate 2 princes in the castle. So they make their way. There's a fire because they set it. Because they always set fires.
Yay!
This fire draws the attention of most people. A little bit of the group split off and go to the castle to kill the princes. Tiresias doesn't know what happened because he decides to stick with the other 3, which were Borealis and I believe, who's the other one? Azor. That's the one.
And Godric.
And Godric, who nobody remembers because he's an NPC. They then travelled to try and find things to do, looking at shops. Tiresias thought, fuck this, I'm going to make this vote. He waits there for a wee while, nothing's happening. He has another mind move of, fuck it, let's go find a prostitute. It's Westeros, there's bound to be whores about. Turns up at the prostitute's door, she's not in, she's just not in. And in a fury of rage, Tiresias flaps out his cock and violently starts masturbating over her door as he can't get the sex he so dearly wants. He rolls a 1. Say guards come and find him, wanking furiously at the door of a prostitute. In a panic of what to do at this moment, he decides to ejaculate his hand and throw it in the guards' faces. He rolls a 1. The ejaculate flops to the floor and doesn't even reach the guards, who then draw their swords and threaten to take him to jail. He tries to explain he's a madman and that someone died in the fire that was close to him, and that's why he's wanking on a prostitute's door. Needless to say, he's taken to the castle, trousers down, getting dragged, cock flapping like a runaway anaconda. He doesn't know anything that's happened to other characters. He turns up at the castle and his character pals are in a fight. He's tied up, hands behind his back and his cock flopping out. It's not the best fight position, even though he's got a sword. It's not very stiff and not in use. What can I say?
That joke.
Yeah, that joke. In order to contemplate what to do, he tries to get involved and free himself. He rolls a 1, he falls to the ground. The fight is going on. Someone's about to kill him. He manages to saw his hands free on an axe that's just buried in the ground. How convenient. The man tries to strangle him. He's getting strangled. Roll for see how it gets on. Crit 20, he's getting strangled, he's going to die. You get the safety roll. He rolls. Crit 20. This frail old man with his cock hanging out, his trousers down his legs, managed to take the guard who's strangling him, fuck him, and strangle him, and a whale blow crushes his windpipe. Ah! That was the end of that guard. But there's still about 5 fucking more of them. Characters are fighting, shit's going on. Someone sets the tree on fire because everyone has to go on fire in this group.
Yay!
Somebody else gets the wise idea to pick out this ash from the ground and chop down said tree. They manage to do so. The tree falls, and Tiresias, who has just survived almost a fatal destruction of his windpipe, sees the falling tree, flaming, coming towards him. Crash! It falls on him and the hag. Who will the other players side to save in this dire sequence? The person with very little health, with his cock out, or the hag, with decent health, decent healing, and a dagger stuck in their hand and into another character's head? You say the hag. I'm losing health. Tiresias is losing health. They manage to free the hag. They rip up the tree, drag Tiresias. Roll for safety. 20. This poor character, who lasted also 1 game, is over. However, there's a new character. It's called Brigand Drum, and he's got a new game. So let's see how he gets on next time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, return to the stage of Alison.
I love how the general reaction was, wait, who was Alison? Oh yeah, that one.
Callum. This is the last DeadSuds. Yes. When I'm DeadSuds, I read out of this. I make this simple. I read out of this, a lot of it's full of shit.
Yay!
Okay? I'll give you a little example of some of the shit that comes out of this. In class, for creative writing. Creative writing is a class where you write your own thing. Original idea is that you can produce a script from initially and get marked on it. So we were asked in one of the first exercises, I want you to write a brief character description on 2 people you know, 2 people you're aware of, and 2 minor characters in your favourite film. To be honest, guys, you should probably focus on the 2 people you know or 2 characters you're aware of. This way you can use them as a start-off point and make a character and put a great script out of it. So I decided to write up 2 minor characters from my favourite film because I don't know, for no reason really. So I wrote this one. It's called The Cowboy. I missed that, I'm going to ask about it later. It better be worth a laugh. It better be worth it was. Anyway. Pale and slender, he stands in the light. His dusty hat and attire seem entwined with his dusty complexion. He steps forward and you hear the metallic scurrying of stirrups in the ground. He seems a background actor in an early western, wandering home after an unsatisfying day in the film industry's extras corner. But the eyes reveal the detached nature, and the gaunt face denies it with a smile ever crossed, and he stares once, and you begin to question if what you're seeing is real. And he speaks, that of a heavy drawl, recognisable in its John Wayne-esque intonation. The sentences are short, and the direction is specific. You refuse, and he lays out plainly what will happen. If you do it, you'll see him once more. If you do it wrong, you'll see him twice. He lies dim and he leaves. Now, that was from Mulholland Drive. Okay? And Mulholland Drive, if no one knows it, is one of the most fucking incomprehensible films you'll ever watch. So why the hell I chose a character who's incomprehensible to write about, I will never know. And that, that was meant to be a script, dialogue, so I couldn't use that. I was like, right, week 3, you got fuck all. That's how I go. Right, and also, when writing this thing, I'm sometimes really fucked, and I don't realise what I've written. So I was looking through it one day, had a little glance, and I found this. I'm talking about silver rum. Does I mean a brand of rum called silver rum, or does I mean rum that is literally silver? I have no idea. I have no idea. This is what I wrote. Silver rum. I think I should drink it. Sip it sparingly. Just go for it. See what will occur. It's rather interesting, this silver rum. It's a pink liquid, and I'm expected to drink it. No one is specifically forcing me, but it's just a physical perception of it. A glass of silver rum that makes me think it's an agenda of dodgy rum consumption. However, what would it taste like? I sip. Silver. Just as I guess. Answers asked, both known. That's becoming a common occurrence. Probably nothing to read into. And then I just go into this. I don't know where this comes from either. Wake it up! It deserves its awareness! And I feel this is done! Grasping the waxy strings, are we? I remember these moments. I remember getting this sense of purpose. The purpose of a student. Realizing there's something to train yourself in. To verse your mind. Equip. Mastering isn't the goal, I'm guessing. Respectable way to go about things. A worthy way of interacting. Experience what's going on. So, I thought that would be a good way to sum up what I've been doing on this stage the last while. Because I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you get what was going on, let me know. I'm going to go for this.
So there's this wee bit near my flat, a slip alley cut between the nearby houses, which starts off wide and then gets all of a narrow side. One of the gardens is creeping in now. It's stone wall, bulging out a couple of inches against the way, all dirt and dead ivy. Someone put this wall here. Someone moved it. And I fucking bet they didn't get planning permission. I mean, this all happened in the 60s or something. Maybe even earlier, when someone stole a few inches to build a wall. Someone complained, obviously, and so the council put on their new wee guy. They dumped a huge, ever-shifting pile of paperwork onto his desk, and they said, "This is yours now, and it is bound to you. And it is your job now, your duty, to read all of this and to find someone for something." And so began a dreadful week of sleepless nights and comatose days. And by the time he brought the case to his boss, she didn't have a shitting clue what he was on about. Nobody got in trouble. Nobody got fined. The council moved this wee guy onto another project, one no less stressful. And nobody really had to think about that path ever again. Until about right now, to be honest.